Alright, so a key aspect with Himeko Nova, outside of her crazy damage that she's going to be outputting, is the question of what characters ideally do I want to be running on the team? Well, first and foremost, you want Astral Express members because they allow Himeko to have additional buffs with the assist skill. Outside of E2, E2 allows more flexibility and freedom when it comes to not really needing a whole lot of Astral Express members. But the biggest thing here is going to be her companion protocol, whether you get the Verdict or the Decimation, and that's going to greatly affect what kind of assist skill you are going to be providing. Right, so the Verdict up here, we can see that if the teammate who uses the assist skill is either the Trailblazer, Dan Heng, any form of Dan Heng, or Sunday, Himeko gains the following buffs as well. She's going to have an 100% crit damage increase on the ultimate, plus another automatic assist skill when 2 ultimates team-wide are used plus energy. So breaking that down, you're looking at obviously more damage for the ultimate, which is already, you know, her biggest damage dealing attack. So it is very, very good. The characters provided are somewhat okay. It would be good because of the fact that you could have the RMC Trailblazer for more instances, more hits, and all of that great stuff, which is good. And or you can have Dan Heng PT to provide additional attack increase because Himeko scales mainly off of her own attack, so that would be very good, while also providing sustainability options with the shield. Or you can have Sunday, who could increase her crit damage or bonus based off his own crit damage and advanced action forward, while also allowing more energy regeneration for the ultimate. Keep in mind, if you do not plan on going for E2, you just need one other Astral Express member to get either the Verdict or the Decimation. So those are the options and what it actually provides based off of one of those characters, right? So jumping down to the Decimation down here is that if the assist skill is on March 7th, Evernight, Welt, or the original Himeko, Himeko is going to be getting the following buff instead. You're going to be getting an 80% team-wide crit damage plus additional team-wide crit damage bonus and another automatic assist skill after 9 enemies are hit. So more of a team-wide increase for everybody. And looking at these options, both March 7th, that being the hunt and preservation options, are just not going to be very viable or good because they're just really outdated. Evernight isn't going to be as useful because ideally you want her on a remembrance team because of how she functions and works, right? So now it comes down to Welt or the original Himeko, and the original Himeko won't really work that well because of the fact that she is a follow-up damage dealing character who benefits mainly from breaks on the enemy. She's not a break DPS character like Boot Hill, Rappa, or Firefly, but it allows her to do more follow-up attacks where most of her actual damage comes from. So that leaves Welt. And why Welt, and why am I seeing like a lot of people saying Welt at E4? Well, the reasoning why is at E4, enemy targets in the lightness state have their all type res pen reduced by 30%. So you're looking at more damage just team wide. And that is the reasoning why people are including an E4 Welt into Himeko damage calculations, theory crafting the amount of damage that she is going to be outputting. I don't necessarily agree with that because even though the game is a little over 3 years old at this current point, like for example, I've been playing since launch, I don't even have an E4 Welt, I just have an E2 Welt. Maybe it's just E1, but like it's very, very rare to be able to get him at that current point unless you use all your golden companion stuff to get Welt, which I honestly think is kind of dumb because the Nova Flare was just recent. So those are the different team options when you have Himeko. And a key aspect here is if we go back to Himeko and we look at her E2, and this is why I said it opens up the team options. So the max use of the assist skill is going to increase by 2, and the damage dealt by the assist skill is going to increase by 23%. So that's very good. More damage, more instances, very good. And at the start of the Navigator Seraphim term, it immediately recovers 2 skill uses. The Trace Hark the Express's Pulse Roars effect. When character other than the Trailblaze companions using this skill, they gain 1 extra turn. So that frees up the team options in terms of you don't have to rely solely at that point on Astral Express members to be able to get the assist skill. Saying that though, you do need an Express member to get either the Verdict or the Decimation in order to get more damage regardless of just the crit damage or team-wide 80% crit damage bonus. Saying that though, that benefits this character right here, specifically M-Blade, because he does so much for her, so much attack bonus, damage reduction for the enemy, and all that great stuff. And because that you need an Astral Express member, you're really looking at, for the most part, I do think Donghong PT should be like a sustained option, but he falls under that Verdict, which benefits the crit damage. You could run the RMC for more instances of true damage to amplify Himiko's overall damage, a lot of turns, a lot of instances of attacks to enable to, you know, increase the overall assist skill usages to get the Verdict going. Or you can be running an E4 Welt to boost the entire team, and by doing so, because of the Decimation, you're providing an 80% team-wide crit damage bonus for everyone. And you know, Welt is going to imprison the enemies because of his own personal ability, so that would be very good as well. Those are the team suggestions and options, and the optimal way to work around these two different components. So just to go back over, for Trailblazer, you want to be running the Remembrance Trailblazer to have more instances of attack, bonus with the true damage, or you can run Donghun PT in order to boost the survivability of the entire team, providing more just raw attack for Himeko, which she scales off of. Those are going to be the two best options. Sunday has fallen off, in my opinion, because of the fact that the robot is not counted as a summon, even though technically it is. So you're losing out on a lot with Sunday. And then for the Decimation, you're really just looking at Welt. But even then, if you don't have an E4 Welt, honestly, you could focus entirely on the Verdict as getting that bonus 100% crit damage, while also having extra instances of being able to use the ultimate is going to be very, very good, and boosting her own energy. So in that sense, you could just run a full Trailblazer team of the RMC, Donghong PT, and even Sunday. But yeah, that's gonna be all for me, guys, and I'll see you all within the next video.